What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This is Eric, and today I'll be giving my review on I Wanna Dance with Somebody, starring Naomi Ackie as the great Whitney Houston. I checked this one out in theaters. I know I'm a few weeks late. It's been out for a while, but I'm a huge fan of Whitney Houston's music, and I was looking forward to this movie. I finally got the chance to go check it out. I want to give my thoughts. If you're new to the channel, hit that thumbs up and hit that subscribe. I would really appreciate it, especially if you enjoy the video. Tonight, Megan is hitting theaters. I'm going to be checking it out. I'll have my out of the theater review. Just wanted to throw that out there. New horror film. A lot of people are looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. We'll see. Please be good. Now let's get to I Want to Dance with Somebody. So this film I enjoyed. Straight up. Positive or negative? I'm going to start with straight up. Positive. Absolutely. That said, I do have some issues I'm going to get to, but overall, enjoyed it. Enjoyed it. Right off the bat, Naomi Ackie, I was worried about it. I don't think she really looks like Whitney Houston. I mean, she's cute and everything. I mean, it's like that line in Back to the Future, remember? Kind of cute and all, but not, yeah, like kind of cute and all, but not Whitney, right? But she really pulled it off pretty well. You could tell she worked hard to embody Whitney Houston and to try to harness, as much as she could, the power and the presence that Whitney Houston brings. I mean, I'm not saying she completely pulled it off. It's pretty much impossible, but I think she did a really good job. Plus the hair, the makeup, the designs, the wardrobe, all that, so on point that you kind of forget. I mean, it really worked a lot better than I expected. I think that she did a great job, and they did a great job just making her look like Whitney Houston as best as they possibly could. And of course, she worked really hard, and the way she speaks, the way she sings. I don't know if I think that Whitney Houston is actually singing the songs, but the way that she speaks also, it sounds like Whitney Houston. She does. She the way that she enunciates everything and just her overall presence, I feel Whitney. And that's what you have to do. You don't always have to look like them, because we know in the past it's happened before. Like, there have been movies where the actor doesn't really look like the person they're portraying, but can still pull it off. And this, I felt, was one of those instances. So shout out to her for really pulling it off here and doing a good job portraying the great Whitney Houston. The rest of the cast was also fantastic. Whitney Houston's mom as Sissy Houston. Oh my gosh. I mean, she really pulled it off. I thought that was really her. And, she was big time too. People forget that Sissy Houston, before Whitney, she was big time. Okay. Not like Whitney. Whitney took it to a whole different level, but she was pretty big time too. The actress that played Robin, her friend, Whitney Houston's friend, and kind of lover for a while, did a really good job as well. For a while, I didn't think she'd had a whole lot to do. She just had different facial expressions and reactions to watching Whitney, she did a good job in that. But it was like, come on, give her something here. And finally, she actually started to get some more dialogue and some more to do in the movie, and she really did a great job. The actor who portrayed Clive Davis, another great job as well. The entire cast, shall we just say that? The entire cast was really, really good in this movie, and a lot of these actors, I've seen them before, but I don't know their names. I'm not really familiar with them, but they were all really, really good. I think the casting was fantastic. But my favorite aspect of this movie is the performances and really bringing to life. I mean, I feel like you felt the power, the energy, the way that the crowd was just like, especially in her first performance. I mean, I was feeling it. Her very first performance, where Sissy Houston pretends to be sick, pretends to have lost her voice a little bit. She's like, I can't speak. You got to go out there and sing the first song. Give me a chance to get my voice back. And Whitney Houston's like, no. And I said, yeah, you need to go sing this. She goes and sings, I believe the children are the future. Teach them well. Every time I hear that song, I think of Coming to America. Let them lead the way. Sexual chocolate. But anyway, she was so amazing in this performance. And you can see how the crowd just slowly getting into it, like feeling like, damn, they're feeling it. And then when she really busts out with those powerful vocals, everyone just loses it and comes to their feet. And that happened multiple times where she just absolutely kills it. And I love the final performance where she's kind of starting to lose her voice. She's kind of losing it there at the end of her career. But she had, one more standout performance where she knocked it out of the park. And that was just beautiful and amazing. But And I don't know, like I said, as far as each of these performances, I don't know how many of them really happened or didn't. I'm a fan of her music. Like, I bought her CDs and I listened to her music, but I don't know. I'm not an expert on her entire life story. So there could be inaccuracies, but I get the feeling this movie is a lot more accurate than Bohemian Rhapsody, which about Queen. That movie was total bullshit. And I know Queen's history a little more than Whitney Houston, so maybe I knew that, but I don't appreciate when they go too far with the creative, taking creative liberties just to change everything. I mean, it was pretty bad in that movie. But here, I think by and large, I think the story is accurate. I could be wrong on that, but since I don't know her history that well, I can't say for sure. You have the conflict between her and her dad is in this movie. Things like that are there. They just don't have time to really delve too deep into them. Same with her relationship with her friend early on, Robin. They don't have time to delve into it. Same with her marriage and everything with Bobby Brown. It's there. They just don't have time to go deep into it. And that brings me to some of my negatives on the movie. And that's really, I really only have two negatives. Number one is this felt like it needed to be stretched out. This needed to be a mini-series. They went 2.5 hours. They tried. They did what they could. I can't even imagine how you could do better because there's just not time. There's just not time. They tried, but there wasn't time. I mean, if you're going to make a Whitney Houston movie, really, I think you need to focus on something. Focus on the Bobby Brown relationship. Focus on her early years. Focus on her later years. Focus on something. But when you focus on everything and do a full biopic, you don't have time. There just ain't time. So you never really got to dive deep into anything. And my second criticism, one thing you really couldn't dive deep into is her downhill spiral with drug use, and that it's there. But they just show her buying drugs. A cool thing where she gives an autograph. It was a weird situation. It was kind of, at first I was like, that's not realistic. Some guy was like, really creepy dude. Can I have your autograph? She's like, sure. And she takes out like a big notebook, signs it, hands him the whole notebook. I'm like, that's odd. I never heard seen it. And then I realized why. The notebook had money in it. And he was handing her off some drugs. She was buying drugs. So it was an interesting, I don't know if that ever happened, but it was pretty interesting. And they showed her, smoking some stuff here and there and smoking marijuana, I think early on, but we never got a good look at the full, anything close to the horrors that she was facing and how bad the situation was, because they couldn't show too much because the movie was PG-13. So they had restrictions on what they could show. And I think that was a big negative. Same with her relationships with Bobby Brown and her dad and whatnot. There's, I'm just saying her life was a rated R life, I think. And if that's going to be a full, complete biopic and you're going to show all that, then I think it needs to be rated R. But to me, that was a little bit of a negative. But then again, I mean, I love this movie for the music more. And I look at it as focusing on the music and her stardom and everything. Singing in the national anthem at the Super Bowl. Singing the national anthem was absolutely amazing. They just did a great job with the music. A great job with the music. If you love Whitney Houston's music, I think you'll enjoy this. And maybe a lot of people are not interested in seeing the downfall too deeply. Maybe we don't want to see that. We want to remember Whitney in her prime, Whitney at her greatest. Maybe we didn't want to see her last few shows where she could barely sing and they didn't show that. Maybe we don't want to see some of that. So, but if this was a full miniseries, they could have shown almost, not everything, but they could have shown a lot more and gone deeper into every aspect of her life. And they didn't have time to in this movie. That being said, like I said earlier, you tell me, hey, I need a Whitney Houston biopic, 2.5 hour long movie, rated PG-13. Show as much as you can. I think this movie did the best they could. I don't see how you do better. I just don't. I mean, did it do Whitney right? Maybe not, because there wasn't time to. Whitney Houston is much bigger than a 2.5 hour movie. It's impossible. But as for just something entertaining, if you love Whitney Houston, you love her music, I think it's really good. I really did enjoy this movie. In fact, I think this is a great film. I would recommend it. I would recommend see it in theaters so you can hear that Whitney Houston music coming out of those theater speakers, unless you got an awesome speaker system at home and wait till it to come out. But either way, check this one out. I mean, the theatrical run may be coming to an end soon. I'm not sure, but really did enjoy it. I think it's a great film. I will be getting this one on Blu-ray, and I recommend it. I enjoyed it. But, is it perfect? It's not only because they just don't have time. You can't make a masterpiece on Whitney Houston's life in 2.5 hours. Literally impossible. You need to make a miniseries or something of that nature. You guys have a great day. Please hit that thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button. Look forward to more reviews. I'll be reviewing a film with Sylvester Stallone I just checked out on Amazon Prime called Samaritan. That one's been out for a while too. Better late than never. I'll be reviewing that one next. You guys have a great day, and we'll see you next time.